All right, so kind of something that we wanted to talk about was kind of something that we're going to start doing this year that we thought would be a good idea, and we've learned also from other fellow whitetail mentors of ours, is trails for access, not deer travel corridors, not trails for deer to use. I'm sure they might. I actually hope they don't, because this isn't ideal, but trails for us to use to get to and from our hunting locations, our tree stands, or multiple tree stands, to get to there and then get out without being seen.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this Saturday, and we're going to bring along the camera, and we're going to film us physically out there in the field making these trails. But so we just wanted to go over what it is, why we do it, and then Saturday we'll film how we do it, literally, with our weed eaters, our rakes, our saws, our shears, all this. So let's start with why do we want to make access trails?
Yeah, I mean, getting in and out without being as intrusive, as little intrusiveness as possible, affecting all the wildlife there as little as possible, trying to get in and improve our chances of successful hunt at the present and successful hunts in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I go in there and I just walk the main road or out in the field where the deer are to access my field, I just spooked 17 deer, and congratulations. If that deer is a mature buck, he's smart enough to realize your pattern. He'll start learning what you're doing, and you've trashed all your chances from that point forward.
And if you don't spook them right there, you're going to leave scent. And
that will
smell
spook them
you
later.
A day, 2 days, 3 days, a week later.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So what this does is it gives you an opportunity to enter your tree stand in a way to where you're not on your way there spooking deer that are already in your path. So what this requires is a little bit more of just making a random trail. What this requires is you have to actually know where the deer will be for this to matter. So if your deer don't have an established routine of some sort that you have learned in the past, or that you're controlling with bedding and food, this is worthless. You're wasting your time. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
You couldn't just do this anywhere. You have, if you don't know where they're spending their time at night, if you don't know where they're sleeping, you're about to just waste your time doing this. But because you and I have learned and we've observed our properties over time, hunting them long enough, and we do food plots. You said do. We have our food plots. We have our bedding established. We kind of know where the deer are going to be at a certain time. So, like, for example, I know what part of the property my deer will be with relative accuracy. There might be a deer here, a deer there that is just unexpected. Like, why are you there? You can't be perfect. But with relative 70% accuracy, 80% accuracy, you can bet, I'll just give you an example. You can bet that my deer will be in the big clover field or on my food plots in the early morning when I'm going in to my tree stand. So therefore, I don't want to walk through the open field or where they can see me from the open field. I want to make a trail in the woods hidden from that field. You'll see that yellow trail begin. So this is the trail that Wade and I are going to make on Saturday. And what this does is it keeps me, so that field to the right there, I know from experience and from making food plots and such that field is where the deer are going to be when I'm accessing an early morning hunt. So let's say it's 5:45 a.m. That big hayfield right there where that mouse is, that is where the most of the deer are going to be. So what I've done in the past by mistake is I've normally accessed that main road. Drag your mouse. There's a road. Now follow that all the way up. That's what I've normally done. Is I've normally walked that to my stand in the morning. Well, I've busted so many deer doing that because I have not understood that that's where deer are in the early morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this trail, which is where that yellow dotted line is, that will hide me via those trees, and keep me protected against those deer out in the field and not spook them. And then likewise, let's say I want to hunt that field. I want to hunt the food plot. So zoom in on that tree stand right up there to the right. You'll see it on that point. Go to the right. You'll see that. Yep, that tree stand right there. I like to hunt that in the evening, yes, because there's food plots there and there's that clover field like I was saying. And so I will hunt that in the evening, and then I will leave after dark out of that yellow dotted line trail, and that keeps me away from the field as well. So that's just a good tip that we wanted to bring up, and you can get out of that map now and back onto us. That is just something that we wanted to try this year and see if we could spook less deer. And how I've done it is I went there last weekend, and I just walked the general vicinity that I wanted to put this trail. And like every 20 yards, I put a orange piece of tape, like dangling from a tree limb or something, so that we could see the whole entire trail, so that when we go this Saturday, we can just rake and cut the path of least resistance so that we can make that effective.
Yeah.
And you're wanting to do something similar, aren't you?
Yeah. I'll have some stuff like this planned out once we get to some of my places, and we'll kind of do the same concept. Hopefully the sooner the better. Try and get things perfected now, so that once season gets here, we don't have to go and make all the noise. We just go in, minimum cleanup on the trails, just kind of get them back to how we want them.
Yeah.
And then we're golden from there.
Yeah. So it's all about access. Access matters so much.
Yeah.
Because how many hunts have you ruined before you ever got in the tree stand?
Yeah, and hunts that you ruin you don't even know about. You know,
right? Like a buck spooked before daylight.
Yeah,
and you didn't see him run off.
Yeah. So you don't even know what you're doing, and it's something that we've always overlooked, and it's actually very important.
Very important.
Very important. If you just take a little bit of time. I know everyone doesn't want to take the time, but it's so beneficial.
Hey, at least it's fun work.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so beneficial to get out and do this, and it's very.
I'm excited to see the fruits that it'll produce.
Yeah.
Accessing my tree stands quietly. What is that like?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah.
You know.
And not having to walk like half a mile an hour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just being able to
getting into the tree stand,
because there's no sticks, there's no leaves, there's no branches. Your rifle's not going to snag the thorn bush. You know, you're not going to trip and fall and stab yourself with one of your broadheads.
Yeah.
Like,
You
know,
you drop something along the way, and
cling, cling, cling. Yeah. Like, it's ridiculous. So this helps with noise. It helps with your ability to get in unseen, unheard, and then it also keeps you off the beaten path to where they can't see you while they're eating clover, while they're spending their time early morning on their last 30 minutes eating. Yeah. They can't bust you, and they're like, "Hey, there's Wade. I'm not going over there to bed this morning."
You know.
So just a simple tip that we wanted to go over.
Yeah, you're keeping those stands you're using more available more throughout each season.
Yeah,
instead
exactly.
Of just killing them off right away because you bust the deer out every time you go in.
Yep, it's just stay away. It's just if you're hunting morning, this is kind of a way to break it down. If you're hunting in the morning, you're hunting their bedding, so you want to use a trail through the woods and away from the food source. They're in the food source in the morning, and then when you're hunt evening, you want to walk through the open areas away from your wooded trail.
Let them come
to
you.
You just want to avoid wherever they are at whatever time. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to share that, and you'll see this actually taking place once we put that video out. We're going to film that on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to actually
Saturday, getting in the nitty gritty of doing what you just saw.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yep. There you go. Sweet. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.